Hi there, my name's Anthony James and I work as CREATURAMA in schools, theatres and museums across the country, making junk models with children and adults. The models I work on are as diverse as can be. I've been little dinosaurs, aliens, creatures as you see behind me, anything anybody asks me to do. It's Halloween though, that's our theme right now, and we've got one of my favourite things to make here. This is Frankenstein's head. Now I'm going to have to take my glasses off for this. This is meant to fit like this. It's a very simple make, lots of fun. So if you want to be Frankenstein, this is how to do it. Right. What you'll need first of all is some brown cardboard. So you need a nice big bit and a bit that will fit around your head. So all I'm going to do here is just measure. I've already cut this card and folded it, bent it, made it go round in a circle. I'm going to try it on so it fits quite snugly and then cut that. So up there we go, I've marked it, put it up there, all the way to the top. And we need to stick that together. Now, I haven't mentioned the masking tape. Masking tape comes in two forms. You've got DIY masking tape, which is low tape, that hasn't got a lot of glue on it, and you've got this tape, which is stationary tape, which has got lots of glue on it, hence it's very good for making models. The scissors I'm using safety scissors. These are great for adults and children to use. They're blunt, so they're not sharp, they're not going to hurt you, so use these scissors if you can find them. I make all my very big models with these as well. And this masking tape, which is just magic for making things. Now, I'm going to stick this together by putting a piece of masking tape half on and half off one side and just pushing that together there to make a big, long tube that should fit my head. Now, I'm just going to trim that nicely at the back there. I've got bits of cardboard and torn bits, etc. So now, this is the most complicated bit of this make. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on my head and I'm going to figure out where my ears are. Now my ears are there, I'm going to use a pen, don't use a permanent marker just in case. And just put a dot where you feel your own ears are, like that. Okay, always remember to put the top back on your pen. And now, I take that off and I cut a circle, I cut half a circle up and back down again, so you're sort of cutting that shape out. Do the same again the other side, and you'll know that that's where your ears are going to slot. Now the next thing to do here, look at it, and I think that's going to be my front. That's a bit neater than the back section now, and I haven't got the joins. So now I'm going to come up and almost cut like a sort of shallow volcano shape, for want of a better way of describing it. Sort of that shape. Out, and that is going to fit your forehead and your eyes. So in theory now, that should do that over there, okay? Once that fits and you know it fits, now you choose the height of your Frankenstein. So I'm going to actually come down at the back and go up at the front. I think that just makes the right look for the classic sort of Frankenstein shape. The classic for those of a particular age, Boris Karloff Frankenstein look, like that. Now you don't have to fill this in because we're going to put hair on there, but what you can do now is use some of this masking tape to do some shaping. The first thing to do is to give him a brow ridge here, and the way to do that is to use some micro sticky strip. Twist up some tape in a big sticky sausage shape like this, look. With the sticky side on the outside and then sort of taper it towards the end. So I started off quite thin, got thicker and then ended thin. That goes at the top of that shape that you've cut out at the front, like that. Now as I'm working on this, I've just decided that front bit there just isn't wide enough, I think, so I'm just going to cut a little bit off. There's no direct measurement of this. This is totally what you feel is right for you to look through. And I think that wider section is a bit better there, look, that volcano shape. Now I'm going to put that brow ridge on. The way to do that is to just use 2 bits of masking tape. So a bit at the end, a bit at the end. Fold it flat onto the table, put it on, and stick it with the tape like that. So you get sort of that shape there. I'm going to use some more masking tape. And you're actually sculpting with the tape now. So I'm going to put a bit along there, like that. Now I'm going to give him some sort of wrinkles on his forehead, like that. So another one. I'm going to use some sausage shapes, like that. And just twisting it at a 45-degree angle, sticky side on the outside. Just 2 little bits of tape either end, just to secure it in position, because even though it's sticky, it'll still fall off. So another one there, like that. I'm going to do another one. Again, 45 degrees, just twist it over. Don't roll it carefully. Weirdly, do this badly and it works better. So another little bit of tape over the side. I do at least 2. I suggest you do 2, like that. And we've got sort of some definition now to the forehead section. Now, because you're not making the neck, the bolts can go on those 2 little tabs we sort of left by cutting the volcano shape out and the ear shape. The way to stick these on is a way that I use in a lot of these YouTube posts. Take some tape, half on and half off something all the way round. These are the tops of a treat over here. These sort of plastic pop bottles there, or these blue tops here. You can use any kind of bottle top for this. I just like these because they're quite a complex little shape. Press it on, cut the tape, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip into a lot of petals. And it's just a very strong way of attaching a round shape like that. So now I'm going to put that one there, and then I'm going to fold my tape over, like that. So you've got one to one side. Do the same again. I'm not going to cut this out of the video. I'll show you again. Half on and half off, like that. So it's sticking up with lots of tape. Press it on, and then snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, all the way around. Open that out to what I call a sticky flower. Use it a lot. And then you can put your other bolt on the other side, just to make it a bit more Frankenstein. There we are. And you can see now, look, we've got those shapes there. Now, weirdly, you're not far off just with this. There's a little technique which I've used on a lot of these when I make them, and that's just putting a triangle out of the back there, and then you stick it together, because when you put them on, you are quite generous when you put a big double on top of your head, because you want to be comfortable, and that means there's a lot of gap. So actually, just cutting that triangle out the back like that, just helps to bend it a little bit as well. Just pulls it in and makes it just that little bit tighter, so that when you're wearing it, it doesn't fall off. If you're at a party or something like that, you're wearing this, or walking around trick-or-treating, it's going to stay on your head. And it, just that little curve there, look, makes it get a nice shape. Now, one of the finishing touches, because we're close, is to find some black paper. Now, for this, you'll need a long strip of black paper, about 5 centimetres wide. So I've got that. I'm going to fold it. Excuse me. I'm going to fold it again, and I may fold it again, and then you just snip with a pair of scissors. Snip, snip. I'm going to about 1 centimetre from the end. So you can see that there. Snip, 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 snip. Watch your finger when you get to the end, because you will get closer and closer to your own finger. If you can make these thin, they look more like hair, which is actually what we're making. And all you do now is you stick that, you can see we made quite a bit because we folded it, you stick that to the table. Big old bit of tape, wallop it on. Don't worry about folds and bumps, because to be honest, that'll just make the hair stand up in higgledy-piggledy fashion. And now, just stick that over the top of your Frankenstein head, all the way around, look. You may need to cut a little bit more. Stick a bit more on if you want to. I just like to do a bit of a push over as well, like that. And there, that's really it. There's bumps and lumps you can put on here. Look, I put a little scar on the top here. You don't have to do that. You could obviously draw on with a pen after you've painted it those stitches that a lot of children draw on their Frankenstein heads. If you want to make a scar like that, you make some of that sticky stuff. You make it very thin. It's a bit Harry Potter, that shape, so I've just done it very thin like that. And I folded it into a point like that, and then did another point. Some of that shape really. I've just stuck that on one side there, just as a bit of a scar. Put a bit of tape round because these, even though they're sticky string, they never stick properly. And now we're going to use a process that I've only been using in these Halloween posts, which is called glue coating, which we're going to cover this in glue. So I'll show you that in a minute. Right, now I'm prepped here. I've got some newspaper on the table for the next bit of process. Just before we start that though, I just wanted to show you this little finishing touch to our Frankenstein head. I've got a piece of masking tape. I'm going to roll it into a ball. Sticky on the outside, and you can just stick that on where you like, because that's how to make warts. Simple as that. I suggest you put a piece of masking tape over it, just over half of it, and that just holds it in position, ready for the next process. The next process is something I call glue coating. I've only done it a few times on some of these Halloween posts. You do not need to do this. You could paint that as it is with acrylic paint or even powder paint. It will look great. But if you want to make it really textured and quite strong and a little bit waterproof, then you can glue coat it. For glue coating, you're going to need some kitchen roll tissue paper, preferably a 2-ply, so there's 2 sheets there, and some PVA glue. You'll also need a pot to mix them in. I've just cut an old bottle here, an old plastic bottle in half. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of PVA in there, like that. A nice big brush in there as well. When I say big brush, an inch brush is what you need for this. If you use a little brush for this, sometimes it can take ages to do it, and you'll push the brush through the tissue, because we're going to use tissue in a moment. I'm going to put some water in there now. The same amount of water as you put glue in, possibly a little bit more actually, and just mix that together. And the way to figure out whether it's mixed properly or not, or whether you've got the right sort of consistency, is just to see if it runs off the brush in a continuous line. And that sort of nearly does. Can you see that? It's just a line rather than lots of drops. It runs in a line for a while. And that's about right. So what we do now, we get our tissue, and we find a corner and we just separate it into the 2 bits of tissue it's made out of. And I'm going to pull that apart. If that's very hard, don't bother, use the tissue as it is. But I like doing it this way. Lie your Frankie down and just paint over the whole thing like that. In all the bumps and lumps as well. And then get your tissue, lie that on, wallop like that. And then just paint that down. You'll end up with lots of little creases, lots of little bumps, and that's exactly what you want for an undead skin. So I'm just going to do that all the way across, like that. Make sure all of it's stuck down. If a bit goes over the edge, look like that, fold it under. Let that dry before you paint it, and that will actually go very, very tough. See there, look, that's what it should look like. Press it down. These big old inch brushes are quite nice for this. Do the whole thing, and then paint it. Now, I've painted mine with acrylics, and I've painted the hair. If you look at the back there, I've sort of given it the black hair. All the back's just painted black there. And then at the front I've done in yellow, because those that know, in the book, in the original Mary Shelley book, he is yellow. But of course you can do green, you can do any colour you like. And I put a little bit of silver paint on the bottle tops there to make them look like bowls. It's a very quick, simple, easy thing. You can do it in about 2 or 3 hours. So if you're a bit stuck on Halloween, haven't got something, that's a very easy make. You could even put face makeup to match and a nice big black jacket. You're sorted. It's lovely. Have a go at your Frankenstein head, and a very happy Halloween.